complex.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it genius?
Shall we begin?
Not a genius, but a hump.
Hey guys. Watch out. Thanks, Sam. Okay.
Yeah, what it is.
So, are you following with this one or is still complex? I got some mixed reflection. I got some feedback from you guys. It's a bit hard to follow along because it's too much code, right? Okay. So, before we do something, so let me show you what is the final things we are trying to achieve here. So this is our game app, what do you call it? But the final objective or our goal is to convert the application to this, right? So it can look beautiful. You can use it. You can share, right? But now, if you just look at the code here, how big is the file? You see here, a lot of players information here. Bunch of functions, say hello, get score, a lot of things, team score, and then display and many things like. And the function and the file is like 170 lines, right? And it's very hard to follow. I got some feedback from you and other people that this is I'm not following actually quite well. And this is the purpose. Actually, it is on purpose because I say it here. In the step 4, I mentioned this is too much spaghetti code, too much code in one file. It's not a good idea. We're not following. So let's do the code separation, and that is also we do in the real life world. So if normally ideally the file shouldn't be not more than 80 lines or something, a maximum, and function shouldn't be 20 lines. I don't remember actually, and function shouldn't be more than 3-4 lines or something. If it's more than that, and it's not good quality of code. So we should separate the code so we can maintain this code and then we can read at once at a glance. So if you look at this file, it's too much, right? No one can track what's happening and where we are scrolling, what is changing, right? It's hard. So let's fix our code. So before we do the code separation, I think it's best if we can fix the problem here in the winner section. So we can then separate the code, right? So you just have to follow what I'm doing, and then we do the separation, and then after we will do the exercise together. So let me see what is the problem here. So it says total team score is undefined, like 164, right? I'm doing this because so you can learn how to debug, how to explore the code and fix it. So I can go here and see in line number 164, it's saying the team total score is not defined, right? And why is that? So if I see here, there's a nice trick. If you click here, right, it gives some green, blue color, right? You have seen the debugger I showed you. You can write debugger and then it stop there, and it does the same thing. If you click here and then refresh, and it stopped there. You can see this is the stop. It's paused. It's showing. Normally, see if you don't stop, the file look like this. Is totally white color. If you refresh, it stop here, and then it line is highlighted, right? So you can read the line content. So why it's showing is not undefined. It's not readable. So it's saying here, total score. See here, error message. Can't read the property. I think it's not expanding anyway. So we can see here what is the team object. Team 1, team 2, team 3 is nothing there. So basically, I'm trying to read the total team score from team 1. If I hover over team 1 and team 1 is undefined, it has nothing, right? That's why you cannot read the property. So how can you fix that, and where this is coming from? So if we see that display winner, right? Display winner function is here, right? So we are actually passing total score, not the team, right? So if we can stop this line here and then we re-execute, refresh, and you can see teams is also undefined, right? So basically it is undefined forever. So we can go back to the editor, and then it was a line 145, and if I can scroll down 145. Probably it's not the exact line because in the browser probably they have something that line doesn't match, but anyway, so you can see this is the one. I'm calling the function here, right? This is the one. display winner. But why my code is different? Do you see that? It's saying total team score for team 1, and here is the team 1, right? Oh, sorry, I was in a different place, sorry. Different file. Close that. Line number 145. Here, right? Here, right? So let's see. Where do you get this from? Total team score, right? 1. This is coming from here. We defined it variable here, right? And we expect to get some value from display team and return score, blah blah blah, right? So if we go to the declaration, where is the declaration? Slowly here, right? So it was a return statement before, right? It was returning something. Now it's returning nothing, right? So that's why it did not get assigned. So what can I do here? So we can slowly go down, and then we remove the variable, because we don't need anyway, because it's already defined in the team object. So we remove, we don't need that. Team object has everything, score. So instead of passing the score, we just pass the whole object, right?
Yeah.
Team 2. Let me know if I'm running fast, so I can slow down a bit.
Team 3.
Oh, sorry, team 3. So if I go to browser and okay, I don't need the debugger now, so I can click here. So it's unchecked. I just do this one. It's also unchecked. I don't know the breakpoint, so now I refresh the code. See, it's still the old code because I didn't refresh. So I refresh the code, so it should update. So you can see this is the team 1 and team 2, right? So I go to the console, see if there's any error. There's nothing, right? It's gone. Now it's working. So now we go for the code separation, but before we go to the code separation, we have to show one more thing here. See, I'm calling the display winner function and then passing team 1 and team 2. Do we really need to pass them? What happens if you don't pass them? Like if I remove this thing, remove and then remove this thing. Sorry.
Yeah, it still works.
Can I go to the? See, I removed that code, right? It's nothing. Still work. Why is it? Why it's still working?
Global variables.
If the variable is global.
Exactly. Actually, we are not defining the var syntax. We are defining the let and const. But let and const has a thing that it can. It is always available for I don't know what it calls the right terminology, but the scope. The scope of the variable is like an inner scope. It is always available for the child, not for the parents. So if you see, this is the for this file, it's defined in the global scope, meaning that out of this function. So for this function, it is always available. So we don't need that, right? Okay. And also we can just slow a little bit do the refactoring here. Return score is not returning, right? We can remove the function return score just to display the team, right? Like that. We can do that, right? Then it's a better name. Otherwise, it's too complex.
Update team.
Yeah, like that, right? Team display team or something. So we can copy because we removed that one. So we just display team like this here. See if it's working. Still working, right? Perfect. Okay, now we can do the code separation. Now it's not readable. I don't actually get what's happening, what's going on. So now let's copy this one. How to do the code separation? Let's say this is the one. This is normally array of information, right? The information always comes from some database, some sort of repositories like you did for last time, the reading from the GitHub repository, all the username and stuff, right? It never stay in the script. So for now, we don't have the database, we don't have the repository. What can we do? We at least can do one thing, one improvement. We copy this one and put it in a separate file instead of having it here, right? Let's assume it's a database or data storage or something. So I expand this one and nice. So this is our project, right? So I can open a new file. Let's call it player object or data object. What do you want to say? Data. Let's say I'm calling data.js file. So for simplicity, we can have it as JSON file as well, but not now. So data.js, right? So I copy this one and cut. So I'm removing, right? So I'm putting it all this thing here, right? But if you refresh the file, still working.
You didn't save index.
I didn't save, yeah. It is failing. Why is that?
There's not loading.
Congratulations, that's true. We didn't link the file, right? How can I read the file? So I should link the file somehow. So I link the file, let's say here, and header. So beginning when it loads, right? So what is the file name? It's data, right? Congratulations, it's working again, right? Great. Now, see, bit less code. It was like 167 like that. Now it's 124. And the exercise was mentioned here. Code separation. So move all the logic related, data and the, logic. So sort of like you can reuse the logic over and over again. We just move this into one separate file. So we can call the file as a script file or anything you like it. For now, we call it the script file. Okay. So we can create one more file. One is for data. Now is the second one, new file. We call it script.js, right? So this is empty now. So we go back here. So data file, we can just close it. We don't need it at the moment. We can scroll from up, clean up. So I don't need all the to do stuff, right? It's already gone. Step 3. I remove this one. It look bit nice. So here's the things. Say hello. Is it a something like script ready, or we can always call over and over again, right? We can reuse this thing. So I can move this thing right into the separate file. Control X, cut and paste here, right? So again, it will not work, right? And why it will not work?
It's not linked.
Not linked. Good answer. So we can link the file as well, right? I think we can show how is it working or not. No, it's not working because it's not linked. For that, we can link the file. It's great, right? I don't know it will work or not in the bottom. Yeah, because we need to put it down.
Is this correct convention?
Sorry?
Is it correct convention how people would normally do it at work? Is they would create multiple JS files?
I didn't get it. Sorry, one time.
Is it a better way of doing it to have multiple JS files as opposed to one long JS file?
Yes, it is always. That's what I said in the beginning. So normally, ideally, a JavaScript file shouldn't be more than 80 lines or something.
Okay.
Or a class or something. So if it's more than that, it's a bad quality of code. So you should always separate the code, separate the logic. It's the best practice if one file has one dedicated action, like defining a function only. Mm-hmm. Like the file will do, let's say if I can create a file called say hello script.js, it will just do the say hello, that's it, nothing else. Then it's best.
Okay.
If you have multiple logic in one file, then it's not a good thing. Why it's not working? Anyone? Any idea?
Reference error. Save.
Oh, I didn't save this one. Come on.
Yeah.
This file is not saved, right? Oh no, still not working.
Does the order of the script tags play a role?
Let's see. I can also do the same for you. Probably it doesn't matter, I guess, but let's see. Oh yeah, it matters. So at least we fixed that one, right? So we have a script loaded. Probably we can move the script on the top as well, because last time it was not saved, that's why it didn't work. It should work now, right? Okay. So now slowly we move the common logic into one file, but the best way, if you can create a separate file for each, right? And that will be done by, in real world, we'll be using a lot of smart tools, like a framework. There are a lot of ways you can separate the code, but for now we don't have that much time, so we can just do it in a simple way. So let's see. The next is a get score, right? So we are again in the index.js. We copy paste, remove the code and then move it here, right? I didn't copy. Cut. Move it here, right? So it has less line now. So I remove the to-do is not needed. Yeah. And now the team score, right? It can also be moved, right? Cut. I'm doing this boring thing because it's needed. We should always, okay, here I always do, you get confused while you be maybe reviewing the video. I have a, a tool here to see here, my alignment. I can show you here, for instance. I copy paste and the function like this, right? So, and it doesn't look beautiful, right? You cannot read what is going on. So I have a tool here. It's called beautify selection or something. So it, fix your code alignment. So if I do this, it actually move the code. Did you see that? You can see a flash here. Like sorry. So you don't know how this code is look like, right? You cannot read. So I do this, and it fixed for me. All the indentation and the spacing thing is automatic.
How did you get that?
I will show it later probably.
Okay.
It will take time. It's a plugin.
Okay.
So this ID has this plugin. So if you install the plugin, so it will do this for you. You can also see it's not visible. You can see some dots here. So how many spaces are in between the lines. So we always give some comments. So the indentation isn't proper. Your code not readable because it's not multi-line and the indentation is not good. So you should do that. So we go to again. So look at the next function. Is it also movable from to the next file? Display.
Yes.
That's true because it's reusable. So we can move there. Save. And then now here, right? So I can so look here. So let's see if our code is working. It's still working. That's good. So what the first thing is doing is it's as the code execute, we can write the code like that. So we want to see these first two lines. So we are writing the first line number 1 and 2, showing the these two lines, and then we need to show the team information. So before we show the team information, we just build the team, right? Like before. Let's keep it here. It's not reusable probably. Let's keep it here for a while, and then remove this to do again. I don't need it. So while we form the team, for somehow, probably this can be user input. This can be many ways, but we decided how to form the team. Team 1 has player 1, player 2, and player 3, right? And we should display this information. So we are calling display team, right? So that is displaying team, right? Exactly here, here, here. Sorry, team 1, team 2, and team 3. So it is displaying team, right? So now I remove this to do stuff again. So now we should display the winner, right? So we are calling the winner function. So this winner function can also go to the script file, right? All the logic here is not needed for this file. Cut and then move here. Probably you can create a separate file called winner.js, so you can move there, so it's more beautiful and readable. So see how small is the script now, only 27 line. Now you can see the flow. Now you can see, okay, now exactly I am outputting this line. I wrote the code for this line, yes, and then I need to display the team information, yeah. So I need to build the team first. So I'm building the team, right? So somehow we've been through how to create the team 1 and team 2 and team 3, and now we are displaying, and finally we are displaying the winner, right? So always it's good practice if you can put some some text comments. What is the display the team, display winner team. It's always best practice, so anyone can read. Sometimes the function methods is not readable, so you put more things there. So now is it looking better now?
Yeah.
So that was the intention. So you should feel that there's a problem we need to fix.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you, okay, are you following? No, it's too much code, too much things I don't follow, right? So now you know how to improve these things. Yeah. So, and this can be also improved, you can separate more this file, script file. For now, we will not separate this one, right? Yeah. So now the fun part. So our script is working still, but we want to, make it nicer. It's not good if we always, open the dev tool and look at the app. No one does that in real life. So we want to build something like that, right? Yes, let's build it together. Actually, I did a lot of copy paste,
Yeah.
In the beginning, I told you, if you want to be a good programmer, you should be an expert in copy paste. That's the only thing you should do. So see here. So if it's like that, so you should work on the HTML and CSS file, and then somehow we transform or exchange data from JavaScript to HTML file. Then the project will be complete, right? So here's the information that is showing here. Then we need to update the information, right? Okay. So I need to remove this line, right? And then make it like that, a design. So how can we get the design, right? We need some UX person who can build some color and stuff. Bootstrap. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was about to say that. Let's go to Bootstrap and see if we can find something there. So okay, yeah, I will share that one. That's true. Yeah, Bootstrap. So I need to share what. Probably I can make a commit and you can clone. Who are using clone or download? Git clone or git download you are using? Okay. Okay, I'll show you a trick how the commit stuff, so probably you can see. So I have a tool here. You don't have to follow this tool, So I can choose the data one, the index. So it's a Git versioning tool, It's a smart tool that you can see the code and you can make a commit. You can select and push it to GitHub. Script. That was the 3 file you have modified, right? Data, I think it's not readable probably. I don't know. I cannot make it big, but anyway. So data and index and script. These are the 3 files, right?
Also index.js.
Oh yes, index. You're right. Yes, thank you. And I can write here a message, like I can say WIP. You know what is WIP?
Work in progress.
Work in progress. When your code is not ready to commit or something, so you can say a tag WIP or something. So work in progress for you can write anything, man. Just text. So, and then I can click a push button here. It will ask me where to push a lot of things here in repository, so I can push this thing.
Nice tool. The tool is nice.
This tool is nice. Yeah, it's called source tree. So I go to the repository GitHub instead of sharing the Slack, spamming there. So I'm push the code here. So module 2. Now you can see these files, right? And you can see that we just called the commit message here. And you can also go to keep track commit messages and then see the last commit here. Click one and then it will give you all the changes you made. You just pushed, right? So what do? You just get again download or clone, so you have the latest code. We did in the beginning, right? So we clone, and so instead of sharing in the Slack, I shared in the GitHub. So you just need to either pull or download. Okay. So you don't have to do now. Later. So we just do some progress, then we do the exercise together, right? So somebody mentioned a smart thing about the statement CSS when you don't have the dedicated person to do it. So Bootstrap. So let's click. I just Google it Bootstrap. Let's click on Bootstrap. And let me know if I'm running too fast, okay? But we don't have that much time also. So, okay, how to do, let's take some example here. I click on example and I can see, I also copy paste from this page. Look at this file. There's a template, pricing, right? If I click this one, it exactly look like mine, right? Do you see?
Yeah.
So this line and this table, right? And stuff. So I actually I copy the idea from this template, like this one, and then put a table here and then display the name, right? So we do the same. So before you start copying, you have to install the Bootstrap in your project. So the way you should do it, like here it mentioned, there are many ways you can do the integration, the Bootstrap. I think you have learned in the JS module, HTML and CSS module in the first lesson, but I'm not going into details, and it will take a long time how to do all these tricks. But anyway, what you have to do, you just copy this line. We are using the CDN. Copy, all copy paste. Paste here, right?
Yeah.
So it's Bootstrap included, and probably it's best if you can also include the JavaScript stuff. Probably it's needed or not needed, I don't know, but let's keep it here, right? So then I go to the page here. It start looking a bit different now. No, yeah, maybe not. Font change, right? At least it's triggered something, right? Okay, let's close this bit more here. So I should be working on this area, right? So I go to the example template I showed you before, and I'm showing how to copy others' code from real life, real world. So here, right? What I need to do? Inspect, right? So inspect. I'm also doing some debugging also, probably again. So here is a selector, this tool. So you click on this one, it will select the element you have. So I copy this one, top. So it selected this div, right? So I click on this div and say edit HTML. So I copy this one. Then it give me this one and copy, and then I paste here. Save.
Wow.
Wow.
So easy.
Fantastic.
See here.
It was a struggling a lot of times.
See here, the magic happens like that.
Oh, nice.
So look at that. So I just copy the whole thing, and it started looking similar, right?
Yeah.
So what I need to do, I need to just copy this thing. All copy paste, man.
It took so much.
So go to this head title. Sorry, where is the I copy? Yeah, company. So I need to replace the company name, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And you can, before I can show one more trick here. Before you change, you again click on company name, and you see this one, right? HTML, again edit HTML. You have this company name, and then replace with the company name you have, and then deselect. Select outside. So see how it's changing here. And before I do this thing, probably, and then I need to remove these links. I don't have any links here, right? So I should remove these links, right? How to remove it? So delete. First do it from the tool, then it will be easier for you. So I select this. See, its whole name is selected, right? Click on this and there's delete. And then I need to remove that onto, right? And then remove. Does it look better?
Yeah.
If it start looking better, then you just click again here, edit HTML. So now you have the deleted code. So you copy, and then go here again, the one you have just pasted, remove it, right? Replace it. So your code look like this. So you edit your HTML, CSS, whatever in the dev tool. It's much easier. You can see the real action. You don't have to refresh. You don't have to save nothing. Then you just copy and then replace it.
And when you copy paste, it's copy like also CSS file.
Sorry.
Like you copy paste HTML stuff.
Yeah.
What about if we apply something about in CSS and JS
Yeah.
about this item you have copied?
Yeah.
It's like it's also copied.
Yeah, it is not. It was not copied. Yeah, that's the trick. Yeah. So the problem is here. We are using Bootstrap. So Bootstrap has everything default. Whatever you have the design here, it is always default there. You don't have to do any customization. The Bootstrap have everything. So let me build quickly this section first. We can skip this section, the number game. For now, we can replace this one.
Sorry. No problem.
Okay. So let's copy paste again. Copy pricing stuff here. HTML, copy. Start putting this one pricing, right? And then see how it look like. Pricing is here, and then I need to copy this one too, right? You can copy everything together, but I don't want to copy together. Yes.
When we do, in addition to our question, when we do want to add in our own CSS, does our CSS come before the Bootstrap or after the Bootstrap?
Actually, I have to do this. Yeah, it's on the way. Yeah.
After the
After or before we'll do together. No worries. So I'm copying just, just putting bunch of thing in my file, so it should look at least better. So this is copied now. Let's also take the footer, because you see I also have a footer here, right? With a less stuff. So everything copy paste.
Excuse me, are you recording this?
Yeah. You want to, hack. So yeah, it goes with the name, hack your feature. It's called hacking, We're hacking others' code, other stuff using for our purpose, making life easier.
Then modify it.
Then modify it. Yeah.
Give the new look.
So now our site start looking like that, right? Now we have too much, more than we need. Now we need to delete stuff, right? Come on. And deleting probably a bit trickier for this now. We need to be smarter here. Okay, I just copy paste from the page I have, so it will be easier deleting. I will delete the footer one. Footer. Copy. You know the footer, right? Footer tag. So I'm just replacing my footer tag to remove all this, links, resources and stuff. So it's gone, right? Just a simple footer instead of a bunch of different lines. Okay, so now we need to improve here, right? And then this one actually I need to copy, because we don't have that much time again for the top section. So from here, or we can copy from my pages actually. Oh no. So we are replacing the pricing tag, pricing one. Yeah. Okay. Right? So it started looking like the original one, right? The one final one, right here. So you can see the price number game and some lines here and the input box and the add player stuff, right? And find winner, it doesn't work now because you don't have the logic yet here. So now we'll together, do this display, build the team 1, team 2 and team 3. So we have a free, pro, enterprise, whatnot. So let's change this first. I have to go to this page and probably like this, right? Copy. I don't know how to find in this place because it's too much text here, right? I do always a trick, search the text here, right? Free. So I say team 1 and then pro here, team 2, team 3, right? Here. Do you see a problem here? Here we have to do too much stuff. Like if we even the button here is different, right? A lot of text is different, right? So instead of changing in everywhere, we just remove the team 1 and team 2 for now. This is a team 1, team 2, right? We are just removing now. Team 1 and team 2 and team 3. Sorry. We just remove that, right? So we fix the team 1 first, then we can copy paste all time. So I don't know. Did I copy paste correct? It's a bit tricky to remove stuff. Okay, let's do it removing later. So first, I don't need this ULLI. I don't need the button. Probably I can do it from here. Inspect. I don't need this, right?
Another list.
I just need an empty thing, right? Yeah. So I just need to copy this one again. HTML. And then here I just need to. It says card header. From card header, where is card header? Here, right? From this, I need to replace it. No, really? Sorry,
So there's two content.
I probably removed too much. One by one. So I need the cardboard actually. That's important. So basically I need the cardboard and everything removed. Can be removed. Where is my code here? Where is the code?
Search team.
Oh, I just did something here. I'm now lost. Where am I? Oh, sorry, it's a different project. Crazy. I have some other project actually. Yeah. So basically,
Cardboard.
yeah, that's it, right?
There's two headers.
Is two header?
One
Body.
Yeah, class body.
That's true. Now it's look beautiful. Okay, guys. Now I need to, from my somewhere I copied this one actually. Table.
So we create a table.
Yeah. So here, see, here's a table, right? So I can open it again, HTML, and I don't want to do this one. I want to table. Copy. So see, is it readable now? It's too much alignment problem. So I do the same trick. Just fix me everything.
There's also like command shift alt F.
I will show you the trick later on, but it fixes things, right? Actually, yes. Now it's looking like that, right? It's looking like that, and then we can say actually we copy paste, right? That's why name. We don't have the name yet, right? So we're just calling it. So like this, right? We have to replace the name with the player name, with a real name from our variable or array. So how do we do that? Replace others thing.
Say copy.
Yes, copy paste. But if we start copy pasting here and there, too much, right? So what can I do? We remove first. Player one. Let's say team one. We want to find the team one first. Is the team one? See here. If I hover over on this one, it's team one is selected, right? If I just go to the next div, team two is selected. If I go to the next div, team two is selected, right? So basically, I need to remove this card MB4 box shadow or something, right? So I just go here, card MB4 box shadow. So from here, I don't know, until here, I can remove this one, until here, and then I can remove that one, right? So it will look like that, right? And what I can do, I can go again, card, remember what was that?
Card payment.
MB4 here, right? Like this. Copy. We can say HTML, comment team 2, and then again HTML comment team 3. We are copy pasting, right? See, this look better, right? Same thing. Now we need to just change the title here. So for team 3, it should be 3, right? And for team 2, should be 2. Yes. Now here's the challenge. So we adopted everything from Bootstrap, but see what's the difference between these two? Final output and our output here. Just focus on this one, the table. I mean, only this area.
Ours is responsive to the not responsive.
No, at least see here. There's no space here, right? It just finally adjusted. And if you look it here, in this one, it has no border and a lot of spaces, right?
And also the table it take all the page.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
true.
much,
Yeah. Yes, that's true. Probably it's taking all the page because in copy paste I remove one div or something. That's the reason. But probably this will be fixed. But this one we need to fix this space here, right? And this can be fixed by the additional CSS script. So we need to adjust this, right? So and you just asked why should we put this on, right? Our own CSS script and stuff. So we can also put here. It doesn't matter how do you put. You can put it bottom or down. It will take some.
It should be.
Let's put it here. So we are actually putting the Bootstrap script here, right, on top. So we can put our customized script here. Or it should be down. Otherwise it will be replaced. So first Bootstrap, then our own script.
First before then
Yeah.
our customization.
Our customization, yes, that's true. So I'm just removing the unnecessary thing because I copy paste because I don't know how to write a CSS script tag, So I did copy paste because I don't know how to include CSS tag. So I just copy paste from here and then I've got the format, skeleton. So now this file is getting from CDN, I mean from somewhere internet server, right? But our file remains in our project, right? So we can call the script something like style.css. You can call it anything, right? You can call whatever you like, style.css. And then how to include this one in our project?
Write the name
Style.css, right? True, right? And it doesn't do any change, right? It's exactly same. So because it's empty, right? We haven't write any code here. So let's write something. Let's fix the layout, right? So again, inspect. This is the best tool you have ever. Click on this one. See there's spaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I click here, I can see I can write a custom styling here, and it is saying padding. I can click the padding and remove the padding. Oh,
Yeah.
start looking better, right?
Yeah.
Right. But see, this card.body is coming from where? Coming from the Bootstrap CDN, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have the access there. Go and change. What I can do, we can replace. We can add, modify their changes. So what we have to do? We copy this class. Sorry, we copy this one. Go to our style, right? And then press. Sorry, like this. And what we did, we just remove the padding, right? Padding 0. Is that all? And then we refresh now. It's working.
Do we also have to put REM at the end of our padding 0 so it's responsive?
Oh no, it's 0 is 0. It don't have to be REM or PX, pixel or anything. 0 is always 0. You don't have to put any. It's wrong if you put like that.
Okay.
0 is 0. Is it good? Okay. Yes. So now we have less time. I think we need to cover some debugging also. Yes.
I think
Yeah.
it's better if we don't distract.
Okay.
From this exercise.
But yeah, exactly. Yes. So I will share the code with you. Also, see here. There's a bottom here is a space, right? If you notice, I don't know if it's noticeable or not, but let me see. Here's some space here, right? And if I go to the final output, it has no space, right? But you can improve at home, not now. But what is the primary thing is remaining here. See, we need to fill the team information here, right? We need to fill up the team, right? And otherwise, it's no meaning copy paste of HTML, right?
Yeah.
Yes. How can we do that? Any idea?
Query selector.
Query selector.
Yes, that's a good idea. Let's do that. We do the query selector. So how to find the query element? If I want to select the first one.
Class
ID.
Okay, how to find the class ID is yeah. What is the class or ID it has?
dots.
You should go to HTML.
Yes. Again, you don't know what's the class or ID, so
We go to
Just skip
the
them.
probably you can just select like that, like this one, right button, and say inspect. It will exactly land you in that right page.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and you can see here there's no class or ID anything defined. So you have to define your own class or ID, right? So I don't know actually it is defined or not. I'm confused. Let's go to team 1, right? And I didn't copy the team, tagging. I can copy at least this one, put on top. It look nicer, right? Team 1, right? So I can actually navigate. And it goes same for as well the HTML. So HTML also file we separate the code into different files. It never be like that file, too much code in one file. Okay, so team 1 and then in player 1 here, right? For the player, okay, where's it coming from? It's not good. No, it has ID. It was my code or yeah, that's true. It has ID. Okay, actually I did defined some time ago. We copy the code from here, right? And I defined, you can see the player's name and information because actually I did implement this thing, so you get the ID by default. So actually you have an ID. So you have an ID. So you don't have an ID for name or score, but you have an ID for the row, right? So if you read the row, and then we can replace the table. But for now, to understand better, so probably we can do this like that. ID equal to ID should be unique, right? What can I call the ID?
Player 1.
Name?
player 1 name.
Player 1 name. Very good. If you say player name, then player 2, what will we invent, right? Player 1 name, right? That's the best. So player 1 name, yes, and then we can go to our script file, right? Somewhere. Should we do here something?
Not here.
Not here, because everything we moved to the the other page. So we go to script, and where we can find the player name. Do you have any idea? Do you remember this page still? Probably you didn't forget. Sorry, I have too much click.
From the data script.
See, if you still remember, so I can get the player name from here, right? Team 1 something, and where this hello ob and use point coming from? If you see here, hello ob something like that, right? So say hello has the information, right?
Yeah.
So we can hack. It's not the best way, but we can improve the code later. But we can at least read the element here and update here, right? So let's read the element. How to read the element?
Document and query selector.
We can store it at least somewhere, right? We can define a variable, right? Const. Let's say player 1 name like exactly defined, and document dot.
Query
Query and
Okay, there are multiple ways we can read, right?
Or
What about get element by ID?
by ID also.
We can do that, right? And what is our ID?
Player 1
Player 1
name.
Like that, right?
Yeah.
I always.
No, it's
We need the
the
octathorpe. We need the octathorpe in front of
Hash.
no hash.
You don't need hash because you are saying ID already. So if it's a query selector, then you define the hash or class or stuff. You don't need to define that. But yeah. Yes. Yeah, I didn't type the name here because it always most of the error we make when we do similar code, we write in different times. We should always copy. Once we declare, we should copy paste. Then you don't make the errors, right? So okay. Now, what can we do?
Player
So
one
we
name
have to
dot
use a
text
player
content.
Player one dot
Text content.
to change.
Add
Text content.
In HTML.
Style.
add listener.
I think in HTML is fine.
Listener.
In HTML, let's not struggle with the HTML part. It's not the things for us now. It's player name. Yes, okay, right. Right?
Yeah.
Let's see what it does. We console this, refresh.
Change.
Why it's not really?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, that's true. Where is Muhammad? Where was he? Yeah,
It's in the end of the.
is the end of this. Why is coming?
So it's
It's the last one. Why?
it's looping through the whole of.
Why it's showing Muhammad, not the first player name? See here, it runs for every player, right? So for the player one, you are reading the element and putting the names, and player two, you're doing the same. So you're always replacing, and it ends with the last player, which is player 9, Muhammad, right? It get replaced. Ah, it's not a good idea. So what should you do?
Maybe we can search it with the square brackets.
Sorry?
Index of 0.
Yeah, there are many ways, but I found a smart way. Probably you can agree or not disagree. I don't know, but for now. So we have the player, right? And we don't know how the players are, ordered or something, right? Here we can see, okay, we have the players and 0 index and 2 index and something, right? So it's and when we see the script, if I close this script, right? Script doesn't know about the players. It know only the player. Like we are passing a player only. It has no indexing like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It never remember this thing, right? It never remember the orders. How can you do that then? Find the ordering. So we can go to the data and then we can define one more key. Let's say ID, for instance. Good thing. We can say ID is 1, right? We can define ID, and then if you don't define everywhere, so it will give complaint. Let's define the ID in every places, right? Okay. So how can you do the defining the ID, not defining here? Probably we can define with something in our code. Let's see if it's this ID. Okay. Let's fix it. I will go through it later on. So I define the ID at least for player 1, right? I'll do it later on, dynamically. So we are now in script, right? So so we can get the ID from like here, ID const ID equal player.id, yes, player.id, right? We can read from the player information, right? At least for first player it has the ID, for others it don't have the ID.
Why we don't change the name instead of ID? Isn't it working the same way?
Sorry?
The ID.
If you change only the name,
ID.
player 1 name, and put the ID name.
Player 1 on the line 10.
Line 10, yes.
Yeah, player.id.
No.
No, it
One.
will, then you will show the ID. We are just replacing the content, right? You see here. It will not do that. You will replace undefined something, right? Yeah. So now we have the ID, right? But we cannot use because we have to read the proper element. If we call this as a player 1, right? Player 1. So we need to read this element, right? So for simplicity, we can say it's not like this one. Player name 1 in the end, right? So instead of reading that, so we can go and script file. We can read like this, right? Player.1. It does the same thing, right? So we have the ID, right? Now we remove the 1 and we can say class ID because we have the ID here, right? Or we don't have to assign it here. We can copy. We can replace this one and remove this line. One line is enough for us. So now we go to this page again. So now it's always showing the first player. And second, there are a lot of errors because for other players you don't find the object is not there. This data, it doesn't have the ID for other players, right? So what can we do? We manually update all the object here with the ID, right? Normally you will get this information from database and stuff, right? But now we can do a small trick, use our database array manipulation trick to insert ID. So for instance, we go to HTML, right? So here we can write a simple logic, insert ID to players, right? Okay, so how can I update the object we have here? Any idea? Players, right? Players. Somebody was saying, okay, how can I what if you can use map for loop, right? You saying, right, for loop. So this is the right place we can use map. So we can use the map method to iterate through and update our object, right? So what we get here? Player, right?
Player.
Player. And then okay, we do the this way, function player, and then like this, right? And then in the end semicolon, then it's fine. Then I can go and say player dot id equal 1, right? So and then after I want to see actually what it does for me, so I can debug. So now it's players. I can go to this here. So yeah. Now you see it has ID, but it has ID to all one. Come on, that's true. That's true. We need to increase it somehow.
Temporary.
Increment. Does it make sense? So it will start first give you the value, then it will increment, then next time you will get it, right? So if you refresh, so if you let's go 7, it has 8. If you go to 3, it has 4. Why is more than 1? Because we decide to give ID from 1, not from 0, right? So it can match, right? So now we have the ID all the time, right? So now what we have to do, we have to go to the player 2. I define the ID for this table 2, right? Right? Then we should see the magic. It should update at least this player 2. Hasib, right? And then player 3. Player 3. Syrian, right? But and then we have to go again for a score. Isn't it too much ID at one place? So probably we can remove this. We can remove this one, right? And then we can use the row like player 1 and player 2 ID here. So we just update name and the score at the same time, right? Okay, so let's go there.
You mean we use child now?
Sorry?
Like TR child or TITT? Because we have 2T.
Yeah, 2TD, yes. Yes.
So we have child, 1 child.
We have
2 child.
2 child, yes. Yes.
So you have to use child.
Yeah, there are many ways. You're exactly right. We can read the child and stuff, but there are one smart tool we can get rid of all these things.
How?
What is it? Huh? Anyone?
Select all.
Like you don't have to read the child from here, right? If I say okay, player 1, I need to child 1, child 2 or something. What I can do without reading a child? I just need to replace this thing, right?
Inner HTML and then include the DD tags. Just recreate it.
Yeah. So do you remember this thing? Let's say const. I can say player. Give it a better name. Template. Do you remember this thing?
Yeah.
What it is?
Um,
Template literal, right?
literal.
Yes. So here you can define your own HTML, right? For our case, all the rows here, here is the same structure, nothing changed, right? We have no unique ID, no unique class. It's all generic class. If you investigate here, see for the player one, exactly the TD without any space and name, and probably I can remove this thing. It's actually same thing, right? Same template. So what I can do, I can go here and first copy paste. Most important thing.
2 lines.
2 lines. We now copy, and then script. I paste here, so I don't make any mistake. You can decide how to align, because this doesn't do the trick because it's inside, so it will not fixed. So basically, we need to replace this one, right? Okay. Let's put it on top. Now we are not reading the player name. We are reading what? We are reading player 1, player 2, right? Like that, right? So we remove the name, right? We are now reading the whole row. So that's why I'm calling player 1. Let's say player 1, player 1 row, or 1. It's okay, or row, right? Okay. So this is the template, right? So if I write something like that, right, and I say, okay, I just replace the template, right? Template. What it will do? Any idea?
It's gonna add.
It does nothing. Crazy. Why is that?
I think the player 1 name is, you didn't change the player 1 dot name.
Sorry.
The inner HTML.
Mm.
The
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. You're
should
right.
be row.
Perfect. It should be this.
Yeah.
Right? It changes, right? And then we go to the HTML and then see why it's not changing here. Oh, come on! It's again player 1. It's not true. It's a player 3, right? Player 4 for the second row, right? Player 5 for the third team is called player. What is this? 6, 7, 8. It has everything, right? Oh, is some problem here, right? The player what? 4. We go to team 2. So it defined 3, 4, 5, right?
Started from
It should be 4 from 5, right?
3,
4 to 5,
5,
5, 6.
7, 8, 9.
Ah, now it's a problem here. 7, 8, 9.
Duplicate.
Yeah. 7, 8,
9.
9. Right? So now our job is to replace this thing. Now we managed to control from script. So we have a link between the template, between the HTML and the JavaScript, right? So we just need to replace this somehow, right? So how can you do that? How can you insert a value here? So
With the dollars,
$sign
curly.
and the curly braces. And what do you need here? The player name. That's true. So where you can get this one, you can copy paste. I'm too lazy.
Could you explain the $sign curly braces? I didn't get that in last class.
It was not in last class. It was in just HTML CSS class, I guess.
Can you tell me what's it called? I'll just write it down. In a second.
It's like it's a template literal. So if you want to use any variable, so this is the syntax.
Okay, template literal.
See here the backtick. Can you see the screen? So the backtick here, the small
Yeah.
if you can see that, it's called backtick. So it's a template literal. So you can write any HTML here. So it will render exactly as it is. But if you want to use any variable, dynamic thing, then you need to call the variable. And this is the syntax. So the syntax is like that. So if you want to do any logic here, so $sign and the curly braces.
Okay.
And you can declare a variable. You can write a for loop. You can write mathematics like this. 2 plus 2 equal what? 4. It will do all this thing. So it's basically giving you again the programming environment. So you can write logic here, right?
And it's template literals.
The template literals is like this one, the whole thing.
Okay.
And this is declaring a variable. So we decided to use the player.name, right? So let's see. Oh, interesting.
It's changed.
Yes. So what we need to do, and here we just need to get a score, right?
Same players.
So we copy this
Score.
player score. Yeah. Because in our object there's no player score. We always calculate automatic, right? This one. Oh no, we need the same logic, right?
Yeah. No.
Now we have the score, right? So then we don't have to go to the console, see what is going on, what's happening. It's nice. Now you have learned something called event handler, right? If you have time, yes. Event handler is what is it? Event handler?
When you make any event,
Yes.
it's a like button or click or like move the mouse.
Even
So
listener.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listener handler, whatever. Don't go for the name, just confusing word. You just have to get the idea. Yes. So yeah, exactly same thing. So in my world, it's like whatever you are doing here on this page, you are moving a mouse, you are clicking something, you are selecting something, doing something. That's all called events. Something happening. And handler is like you're handling this, how you want to handle it. So there's a default behavior. It's defined by browser and the technology, and you can interpret that. You can change the behavior. You can change the way it should work. So that is called event handler or listener. So it's something is even happening, and we have to listen first, then we can handle it. That's the flow. So you are doing something even in handling, right? Happening. So you have to listen. Okay, I'm to listen what's happening. So there's an API, the thing, and then equal to API, and API always listen. Okay, if something happen, I will let you know. So it lets know, and then I handle it. Yeah. Okay, so the basic idea is like if you click, we have a button here, find the winner team, right? I don't know who is the winner actually. It's too much score. I don't know how to calculate them. So best if you can click this one, if it's give me the winner, right? So how to do that? So if you have a button here,
First you have to access.
and then if you click, it should do like that. So can you do that together, or I mean,
Can do it.
you want to try it, or we have 20 minutes. Is it possible, or I should do it? You can just follow. Yeah.
Copy everything.
No, if you want to try, I don't think we can make it in 20 minutes. But if you want to try, I can give some extra time. So you can say, okay, we can try for 10 minutes. Then I will take again 15 minutes to fix it.
You can ask.
What do you prefer? You want to stay for 10 minutes more long, or?
I can stay.
So we can give it a try. I'm just doing too much thing now. You're not trying anything. You're not doing code, writing code.
You share the codes, then we can do it.
Okay,
send it to you.
Or I just share the code now. You just try to do it now.
yeah.
For 10 minutes, let's see, then we will try. So you brainstorm things what's going on. So I just copy paste and then share the script here.
I think you have to add you have to add comments in your GitHub. So
I do the GitHub, yeah, that's good idea. Let's do that. So I have modified in the data file, really? Yeah. Data file, and then the index here, and then the module to indexing script. So let's give a try for 10 minutes, right? I can see you're getting fun, so you can spend from 10 more minutes to fix it later. So now it's on GitHub, so if you can download, clone, whatever you can do. If you have the already, anyone using SSH for GitHub? Okay, no. Then it's a simple command, just git pull, then it downloads everything in your machine. Oh, sorry, link. share with you. Discard. Yeah.
It's
You download this one and then yeah, and then go to module 2 folder and then try that. You don't have to show the image. Just on click, you just show the team name, which team is winning. That's it. And hide the button.
It's the model 2, everything.
Yes, in the top. And let me know if you need to have any for set up your things or not. Oh, you have anything else to run? That's good. Oh no, you're cloning.
Clone.
Yes. Okay. Is it running? You can download the file, right? Close it.
I already cloned it.
Just click here. On the button. Yes, download it.
I'm looking for it.
Just download it. So on click, find the winner. You should show the winner name and hide the button. Oh, I didn't share the script file probably. That's why the design is.
Where do we find
CSS file. CSS file.
Just go to back and run it through.
and then maybe to do the same which
I'm looking
Lost. Yeah, so lost kid.
the last boy.
Okay. Okay. What's the name of the button?
GS3.
This one.
and you need to save and
Go to index.html. Find the button. What's the name of the button?
Man, I found.
No.
My charger is not working anymore.
Do you have charger?
No, I didn't bring charge.
It's okay. I have.
You can try it, maybe my laptop is not working.
It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. It's gonna be there soon. Let's see. I probably have a few minutes left.
First, opening up for module 2.
We already did the same exercise, right? For homework, you will listen or click on button and then you fetch the repositories. So exactly same thing. You just listen the button click and then show the name and replace the HTML. then we'll find out who did the homework last time.
Add the event listener to the bottom.
Huh?
Add the event listener to
Yes,
the bottom.
yes. Yeah, even listener, yes. On click or something. Yeah, you can say click on not on hover is not good idea. Click. Yeah, define.
Where do we find that page?
Sorry.
Which one?
Number game?
It's on GitHub. I shared the link on the Slack channel.
Maybe I entered the wrong.
And modules folder. You clone the whole repo and then go to modules. You should find that. It should be fairly simple. You can copy paste from your homework if you want. If you have done the homework from last week, you should have the code ready.
I got halfway through the homework and I had a panic attack.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it?
Yes.
Good. Winner. We need a winner team name.
Team name?
Yes, yes. Who is the winner, right? In the console, can you open the console? You can see the team 2 is winning, right?
Okay, I just read.
So you just have to show the team 2 name or something.
When I click the button, it shows name with the score.
Name with a score. That's good. You just show the team name.
No, it's not the team name. Like if I refresh this one, it's just empty. Then when I click it, then it shows.
Oh, you did something on the button. You make it to break.
Because when I go here, if I delete the file, it's the old one, right?
2 minutes more
So I'm trying to.
or 3 minutes.
I can't delete it.
Maybe you access it.
Put
Where is you place?
Let's put it on the desktop.
Shazza, how far you are? Somewhere and almost. HTML code. At least if you can alert it.
Okay, I'm fine.
Okay.
I can link the shit out of that. Okay.
If you can replace the HTML, at least you can show the alert, then I'm happy. On click, you should show the alert message who the team is winning. It's fairly simple.
It's showing in the console.
It's okay, can console alert anything, if you can show that, then it's fine.
And here.
Yeah, on click. Team 2, yes. Yes, then you're fine. You're good.
I just need to figure out this one.
Yes, and the thing is that we use the hashtag.
Yeah. It's not needed yet.
Yes.
It's already.
That's the only
Anyone is almost there?
I'm almost there.
Yes. Otherwise, I will start doing it.
Yeah, you can start.
Okay? But I want to give you a fair chance. This
I
one?
reached it, but it's not.
You can do the
Doesn't
same.
do it.
So we should.
It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to fix the design now.
Maybe we put the H4 or H5.
Okay, so I'll do it in 10 minutes, okay? Let's focus here. You guys give a good try. I'm really happy for that. So can you try together again?
Yes.
If you can, look away from your screen, that'd be nice. Hello? Yes. Yes. All. Okay, great. So for my case, it's nothing happening, right? It's just like that. But before I do that, I want to copy paste something from here again, from the template. So I have this one, and I want to show this result, right? So I open this one. Only copying the HTML, nothing else. Don't be worried. Copy this. I have a winner div, to represent beautiful, nicer. Copy this one. HTML, and then where is the button? Find the winner, right? Find the winner. Here is the button, right? And then here is the winner. Text thing. So anyone clicking? Guys, come on, look at here. You will not have time to do at home. See that home. Okay, so team 2 is, I mean, it's static, right? Okay, I need also the picture, you know. I like the picture too. So if I go to this one, winner team, winner.png is missing. If I see this one in module, here is not there. I can go to this here. Oh, you know what? You can copy from the resource here. It's another trick. So here.
If you just copy it from the console, does it take the picture as well?
No, here. That's the thing. You cannot copy from the console. So here, refresh. So network has this picture. So you can copy from the network. See? Save as. You can do this in the real world. Where is saving? Nothing showing. Copy, open an image tab, save this image somewhere, right? I can say it should be saving in desktop. I already have the winner, that's why it's showing a different name, right? So you can do the same trick. So I don't have to do that. Anyway, I can go to desktop, copy this thing, and in the project module 2 folder, right? Paste, did it paste? No. Or I can drag and drop. Yeah, it did. So now it should look at least a bit better, right?
Yes.
Congratulations. So I close the unnecessary thing now. Okay. So first thing, it's showing the right team and the score, and it is just static thing, right? Whatever, nothing happened, showing the both, right? So we need to listen that and find the right team and then adjust it and then hide the button. That's the action you'll do, right? Okay. Clear the item first. I don't need this style. I don't need that. Probably yes, not. JavaScript, yes. Okay. So what is the expected behavior you think in the beginning? I don't want to show this, right? I don't want to show this dip, this output display. So what can I do? I can go to the browser again, inspect. I want to list, see what is the element ID or something defined here. Yes, I have an ID called winner, right? So I can go to the, I can see how to, hide this one. I can go to this one. Display none. It hides, right? Beautiful. So I can just do the same in my here ID display none, right? So if I can refresh, it's not hiding. Really?
It's all right. It came there, but it's not more specific.
Display none. Yes. Okay, see here. So it's overriding somehow. I wrote this line, right? It's like it's marked. How can I fix that? Any idea?
Maybe strict.
Maybe
Strict
put,
style.
maybe the CS required to have
You
to
did
put
not say-
that's like in the right direction. Like it's taken when you apply the CS part, it's taken last like when you change into class, which the class we have to be applied before.
It's an order which come first, then the second one replace.
But you put in right direction then.
Sorry?
Yeah, it's in the right direction.
In right order
Yeah.
or right.
Here? Here you're saying in HTML?
Just add important for it.
Important is not a
It's
good
in the
idea.
right order, but it's not more specific compared.
But it's not the way we should do important. But
No, it's not.
it hides, but it's not the way. Actually, okay. For now, we just I will fix it. I don't know why it's not happening. But you should never write this important. Okay, it's not good user friendly syntax. Okay, so on click I should show this one, right? At least, so I can go somewhere, right? Where I can go here in this file, probably on top. Probably I can see.
But
Yeah, winner button. Okay, so
we have to
const
compare.
btn. We should read the element first, right? Document, right? Document. You can do both query or get element by ID. I can do that. What is the ID here?
Find winner button.
It's add user button.
Find winner.
No, find winner. Here I said I have to listen to that.
Yeah.
Sorry, here, right? So I can listen to that, right? And then so now I have the element, right? But I need to listen, right? What should I listen?
Button dot add event.
Add event listener, and then what should I do here?
Click
On
event.
click, and then function, and then
You have to call the function where find winner or something like that.
yeah. So before going that further, we want to see my syntax is correct. Am I write the proper API or not? Right? What should we do? Oh yes, see, it's alerting. So it's working. You are confident that it's working, right? So what should you do then now?
You have to call the function winner, find winner.
Let's do it later. But I need to show the the one I hide it, right? I want to display that one. So how to display that one? So we can again read, copy paste here. I can say it's winner div. Yeah, it's good. And then how can I read the winner div? So winner, I have a ID winner. I can go here and then read element by ID winner, and then yeah, or then I don't need to read actually assign to variable, right? I can go here dot style dot display equal to block. I have to show it, right? I don't have to hide it.
To show it.
Yes, I'm in hide. So does it doing anything? No, nothing.
You have error, right?
Yeah, some error, right? So block is not defined. Probably it's not a block. It's something different. Display. Sorry.
They have
Quotations.
quotations, not here.
It's like a string.
Come, I don't know, guys. I'm not expert. So let's Google ask it.
You have to code the block.
None.
Set the block.
I think you should use.
Okay, in the code. Yeah.
Block.
You're right. No.
You say
Yeah, I saved because there's no error here, right? So any idea? Display hidden display block like that, right? Why it didn't work? Did I write something wrong? Style display get element div. Oh, it's basically maybe because of the important. It's always hiding.
No, okay.
Probably. But we can try another way if it's working on our code. So instead of showing, we said hide, right? On click, you should hide. So then we know our code is working. On the reverse order, right? First, we need to show that our codes work. That's important. So actually now we have the it's good. We can build the logic. Now we need to show the right team name, right, and the right score. 378, where it comes from, I don't have no idea. All the teams look like more than 1,000 score, right? So And yeah, so let's see. We can. How can we get the winner?
We are calling a display
Yeah,
winner.
exactly.
You can
So
hit a return variable.
we can here, right? Display team.
Display
Sorry,
winner.
winner here, right?
You can return the winner.
Yeah. So instead of doing like that, right? We can say, yeah, we can. You can return. That's a good idea, but you can do in many different ways. I just moved the winner team on top, so it's available everywhere.
It's global.
Just an easy hack, probably not a good practice, but anyway, it will work. Yes. So I just said winner, right? So if I go to here, blog, or is this here? Probably I can do console, right? Console dot log dot what is the variable name?
Winner.
Now we make it global, so it's available everywhere, right?
Winner dot name.
No, let's see the winner object first. So we again open the console. See, it look like refresh. Did it print anything? No. We don't know. So
I
then,
think you should click the
oh, I have clicked the button. That's true. You're right. Yes, I should click the button. See, it's printing, right?
Yes.
So we have everything we needed, right? More than the console was saying only winner 2. We can now print the player's name and whatnot, everything. So how to do it? Let's go to the HTML and see. We want to replace this team name plus this thing, right? So instead of we can read this thing, right? Team winner team. So we can go again and we can read the after this line const or let whatever you call it, let winner team temp element or div or whatever div, right? Div. How to read this one? You don't have to all the time do the same stuff. You just copy paste. It's always easy. And then I need the right ID, copy ID, and then I just replace this ID, right? So now I'm reading the ID, right? And then I just to see that my code works, I can go to .inner.html, right? Before going too much further, I can define inline, template, something. Okay. Oh shit.
We are hiding.
Crazy. Okay, let's not hide. At least it will replace the text. See something. It's now it's working, right? Yeah. So let's define the HTML. So we just go and then copy this everything like this before the team we have done for team name. We copy paste here, and the how can I get the team name? Winner has the team name, right? And then the winner dot what? I forgot. Let's see what the console says. Click on here. It will show team is a name, right? Only name. Name, and then the score is what is the score? It's total team score, right? How to copy this?
Winner dot.
Yeah, and then here, right? Like that, right? So refresh, see here, and to be more precise, probably you can say, okay, I want one more element. Now I'm going a bit advanced, but you need to follow that. So I want to show the team member as well. How can I show the team member? How can I get the team member? Any idea?
Players.
I don't need this one score. I don't need the lead or anything. I just need to show player 1, player 2, blah 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 blah, right? It shows, right? But how can I actually replace the real name like I have here?
Then the same dollar.
Yes.
Winner dot player.
Yes. So it is a bit advanced, but you can do it. So here, I need to replace this thing, right? So you can do the dollar and then expression, and then you can write your logic here, right? What the logic? How can I get the name?
Winner
Winner players.
player 0
Winner dot play players
index.
index 0 dot name, right? Yeah, name. Let's see
Yeah.
if it's working or not. One name is coming, but how can I get the second name?
For each, you can use for each and a temporary variable.
If I do this one like that,
Yeah, you can
will it work? I think he has a problem, right? You can do like this. So basically, you can define. It's a bit complex, but you will. You can define another, nested template literal, and then you can write the logic here. Same thing. Copy.
should put a place or something, or just
Let's see. We're improving. No.
there should be a connection between two literals.
Um, okay. Let we can say store or display players, right? I can say here is empty, right? And I can store the player like that. Players one. Missing something. Unexpected. Okay, I need help.
If you put a plus between them, like increment them.
Sorry.
You can use a temporary variable and dot for each display.
Now we'll do the for each, but before for each, I want to show the how to show name at least. Is it too much for you guys already? Huh? Okay.
I think it was something maybe with the backticks.
Yeah, backticks, is it
inside
something?
this inside the statement, so it's only about the formatting
Yeah, I was guessing
in
like
this
that.
template, which the one that you wrote.
Sorry, index.
Yeah. Yeah, so you already defined that, and then it's kind of inside this that you already defined.
Okay.
I don't think that's the right syntax, right?
But anyway, guys.
Yeah.
So we can at least, there's another small trick. We can exclude this one. We can do the here, defining our players here, and then the define display player. That's it. We don't go that complex.
Yeah, without. Yes. There is still the backtick to remove.
Yeah. Yes, that's true.
Yes.
Okay. So this way, we are almost there. So it shows two names together because it's same. Yeah. So it's showing two names, right? Yeah. So now actually you can do the for loop again and then make your template.
You 79 here.
Yeah.
Or you cannot.
Give me 2 minutes. Now I'm doing it. Okay, let's forget about this thing. So now we'll do it again. So I want to do that, like, for each. We have the players here, right? Players. Is it a players or winner team? No, winner players, right?
Each.
How I'm getting players here. Let's say winner. Okay. Winner players.
Yes.
Players for each. For each, right? And then there is a player, and then display, like this, and then you display the player dot name, name, and then concatenation with some space. That's it,
Yeah, plus.
and then plus. Yeah. So you don't need this two line. We're done. So it's showing first is undefined. Who's Shaja, Hussain, Anwar. Okay, why is showing first?
Big. Yes.
Because we didn't define anything there, right? Oh my god.
Yes.
It's good? So the final thing. So we need to hide the button, right? This one. It's not good. It's showing all the time. So what you should do after this, we whenever you're done, right? And the bottom, and then we need to here display none. What to the none? The button, or you can say we already have the button, right?
Maybe that
We already listen the button, right? Or here find the. Oh, okay, great. Okay, but we are done. But again, just to wrap up, I put this here on intentional purpose. If you have some time this week before you start some new class, so this idea probably if you store the players object, maybe 20 players in a file, then you have more than 9. Then you write the username, right? Instead of the player name, you can write the username and see if username match with the object you have. Then you insert the player. So it's more interactive. So let's say you have a data here, right? With the data, you have how many players you have? 9. So you can say you just manually insert 9 more, or total 20, let's say 20, right? But how many players can play the game? 9 players, right? So you cannot, go through the player 0 to 9. You can decide. You can decide the players like who can play the game. You pass the name here, click the add button. So after it, you add the button. So you match the player name. If it's Sheza, you have to find the player from the array. So it's like find method, right? Array find method. If there, then you include it into the team.
Usually we would do it in JSON, not.
Sorry?
We would do it in JSON.
Yeah, JSON, yes. So you already have the JSON players object, right? So instead of this file, I have already a file I can show you. Like players here. I just copy paste from the our GitHub repository. The team member, all team member I have here. So the username is different, right? So username I put all this. We have 16 or something, 16 players. But we cannot play the game with the 16 player. We need 9 players, right? So let's say this is the database information. So you take the player's name from the input box here, and you match. If you find the player is matched, then you can insert. Otherwise, you can say, okay, I cannot find the player. I cannot include you. You cannot play. If you write something, cannot search, like you show the homework. I cannot find the information, right? So you match with the information you have, then you include, and then finally you click on the button, then it should show. So it's now every time random player can play the game, right? Not static, like all the time they are playing. It's not fair, right?
So I
Yes.
guess maybe we have to change that. So we have to create the player randomly.
No, not randomly. We'll be deciding by here.
Oh.
You will type the username, So I want to include Shaza, so or OB. So I should write OB and add player. So you add the player here in this line. Otherwise you remove it. For instance, it's a bit hard now. If I type like this, so it will say I cannot find the player, so he cannot play. So as soon as you find, you update this list. So in the beginning, list should be null, nothing.
Empty.
So when you refresh, it's empty. You start adding the players, and then finally you find the winner button. A bit more complex, but if you gonna give a try, so I will be helping you online.
Okay.
So the first HTML will be the empty.
Yes, empty or just throw blank space or dot or something. Yes. Yes. As soon as you find the user in the database, database means a file. You just keep adding.
So every time we have to put
File is-
9 names.
Then you use the buttons. Yes.
Then it's counted.
Yeah. So give a try. Yeah. Okay. Otherwise, it's fine. You will be learning something new in the next module. Okay. Thanks for being late.
What will be the next model? Is there any idea?
I don't know.